U.S. employment professionals. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's expresspros.com.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
In life, I noticed that we all got our own separate cross to carry. But the one thing that I notice about nowadays, it seems like everybody is putting down their cross and they want to carry somebody else's cross. They want to be a soldier in somebody else's army. They want to speak up for somebody else. How about you let everybody carry their own cross? Everyone has a mouth. Everyone has a voice nowadays. Everyone has social media. They can speak up for themselves. Why don't you speak up for the lifestyle that you live in your thoughts and your wants and your needs instead of speaking on someone else's? Just a thought.
That man was serious, and I love it. That's tonight's topic, man. It's a heavy topic. The relationship Messiah. I'm not here to save you from the work of self-individuation. That is something that is entirely up to you. We've got callers on the line. I want to get them in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila.
Hey.
You were talking about the difference between resonance and validation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the majority of people in relationship are seeking some type of validation over resonance? Is resonance kind of like a byproduct that if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'm still here for the validation?
I don't even think people know what resonance is.
Tell them.
Like,
I'm
I
ready.
guess what I
Teach
mean
me.
by that, right. And I guess what I mean by that is to resonate. By its definition, it's a phenomenon that occurs when an object or a system is subjected to an external force or a vibration that matches its resonant frequency. In other words, two things have the same frequency, same vibration. In other words, what are we? We are synchronized in our understanding. So this is kind of like when people say, what's the solution? What they're really looking for is a common ground. Right? So I think that we search in vain for resonance because we're not feeling, we're thinking. Right? Like you see, even in the comments, everybody was like, well, I'm still thinking about it. What do you feel? Like, how do you get in touch with that? So I think if you can get in touch with that within you, then you can reach that with someone else. But until then, because we're so distracted and we're so over involved in our own lives, we're caught up in our own heads, it's really hard. I think it is possible to reach resonance. Don't get me wrong, but you have to stand still enough to do that, if that makes sense. And in terms of the validation, what if the resonance comes at the expense of your validation? Which do you value more?
Wow.
Right? Like if I'm at a crossroads with someone and they're like, hey, listen, I love you. I understand what you're saying, but what you're doing is not cool. can you forego that validation or whatever it is, the need to be right, whatever it is that you're looking for in order to meet a common ground with that person? I think a lot of times that's where our relationships dissolve. You see what I'm saying? So the other thing about this topic, when people say God won't give you more than you can bear, that's not in the Bible. That is not a verse. That's what we be saying, but it ain't in there. And not to say that, I'm only going to, abide by the words in the Bible. Some people are like that, but I say that because we say these words like they're gospel or canon, but what do they actually mean? Because what it does say is bear you one another burdens. That's Galatians 6. What does that mean? That essentially means that you might get more or feel like you have more than what you can bear. Bear you one another's burdens. That's the instruction. It's not saying you're not going to have struggles. It's not saying you're not going to have hardships. So it makes sense why we have these certain ideas about relationship that, like you said, the soft life, like things should flow smoothly always. And we have trouble really staying in relationship in moments where they're not smooth. And that's also the reason why I sent you that first clip from the Dear Future Wifey podcast, because that woman was, I forgot her husband's name. Her husband is actually the pastor, the woman that was speaking in the first clip. And, they had some scandals. And what I thought was interesting about it was that she was speaking from the point of, this was the grace that God gave me to withstand these situations through the accusations. My only thing with it is I'm like, he should be the one speaking because he's the one that's been accused. But right, I'm like, you don't want to need to be talking. But nonetheless, it kind of made me think, when we say bear you one another's burdens in the church, do we understand that line between codependency? Because like I said, I can walk with you, but I can't hang for you. I'm not saying that I'm going to throw the rock at you, right? I'm not going to help you be crucified, but I'm also not going to hang on that cross for you, meaning I'm going to allow you to speak in these moments.
Yes.
And I'll stand with you. That's it.
Attila, hey, guess what you just did?
All right, Houston in the building.
Come on, man. Niece was up in here cooking. Straight flames. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Resonance. My niece was talking about it, the difference between resonance and validation. Resonance has a frequency. Resonance requires letting your partner's truth trigger your unhealed shadow. Again, projection detection, Likens mirror stage. Conflict arises when partners mirror disowned aspects of the self. Twin flames, whatever that might be, trigger catalytic ruptures to dismantle egoic facades. Dissonance is soul curriculum, not relational failure, right? Hegelian dialectics, synthesis emerges only through thesis, antithesis. These clashes must happen. See, yeah, we're on the same frequency, but we might be inverted images of the same frequency. That's what a mirror does. You think you're looking at your actual image. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at the reverse. You attract the opposite polarity of the same frequency. That's how you get this push-pull, this tug-of-war kind of energy within the relationship. Do you understand? Avoiding conflict. Right? Listen. Stagnates evolution. Couples embracing conflict as growth report 40% higher relationship satisfaction, according to the Gottman Institute, 2023. Let me come back to that because I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Couples embracing the concept of growth or conflict as growth, they report 40% higher relationship satisfaction, according to the Gottman Institute, 2023. And then remember, we live in a society, love is not enough. love won't keep a person from abusing you or disrespecting you, that's because we get love confused with attachment. People that are abusing you are human beings that haven't done work. They're still works in progress. They haven't reached the level of consciousness that one could actually call it love. And attachment can feel like love. You understand? Attached to your norm, attached to your toxicity, attached to your shortcomings. It feels like home. You were made to love home, even though home was broken to begin. Do you see? Love is a high level of consciousness, the highest level of consciousness of all. Love is synonymous with God. Do you see? Love as an existential threat. Why merging souls eclipses individual dharma. Fusion fantasy, object relations theory, creates parasitic bonds where partners lose agency to the relationship entity. Right? In Vedic philosophy, it warns against adharma, right? Adharma, right? Diverting from soul. That's what adharma means. Life purpose. To placate a partner's needs. Let me do it again. I'm not here to placate your needs. You are to fulfill your needs. So self-individuation makes you a whole person so you don't look for your better half. Can I say it again? Self-individuation gives you the ability to become a whole person so you don't have to go out and look for your better half. The counterbalance is in you. You got to become yin and yang instead of yang going out there looking for yang. Do you see? Vedic philosophy warns against adharma. Diverting from the soul is what adharma means. Diverting from one's life purpose to placate a partner's needs. Nietzsche, will to power, corrupted, self-abnegation for love's sake, breeds resentment, not transcendence. Relationship is a spiritual environment where you get to transcend if that's what you're focused on. But many of us have been taught to focus externally. All the answers come based on the type of partner I get. I get to love if they love me first, if they prove to me that they love me. I get to love if they show me I'm safe. We don't even know that we're creating an environment of unsafety within our own being. We're not safe with our shadow. We're not safe with our shortcomings. We're not safe with our body. We're not safe. Listen, boy, imagine what negative self-talk would feel like in a safe environment. That's why it exists, because it's in an unsafe environment. God, I hate myself. Why did I make that? I'm stupid. Imagine if you turned an empathetic heart to your negative self-talk. Ooh, man. Relationships are for transcendence. We've turned them transactional when they should be transcendent. Transcending generational curses. Nah, we just become transactional. If I'm going to be with somebody, they can't be like my granddaddy who beat my grandmama. 68% of divorced couples cite loss of self as primary contributor to separation. Psychology Today, 2023. The karmic absolution fallacy. You can't atone through your partner's cross. You trying to carry their cross will not provide you self-absolution. Well, if I help my partner with their self-work, God will acknowledge that and I don't have to do mine. You're going to ignore them going through their dark night of the soul? You're going to ignore the triggers that's rising up in you? Huh? Reparative relationships, reenacting parental wounds, perpetuate cycles of victimhood disguised as redemption. Right? The Hindu belief system, the law of karma, suffering transferred, suffering resolved. Only an original soul can metabolize its debt. Do you see? The debt on your soul cannot be paid for by your soulmate. Do you see? There's no escape from it. When I come forward, if you think I'm even remotely close to done, finished cooking, you wrong. When we come forward, your brother Zoe got way more to go. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day, you wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial because yes, it is. Don't stay in bargaining where you're praying for a miracle and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 oh, baby, I love you. Yeah, I long ago, and oh so far away. I fell in love with you before the second show. And your guitar, and you sound so sweet and clear.
The sense of self, our ego, is actually very happy to be miserable. When we are thinking of our own suffering or the suffering of our loved ones, and we are totally only focused on that, it's all about me, and mine. This can very easily happen, especially when people are in abusive situations or they are suffering a lot, ill health and loss, that they close in on themselves and only consider their own suffering and identify themselves with that suffering. Use our pain and suffering as a way to open up the heart, to have empathy for the pain and suffering of others.
Man, Tenzin, that's the lady's name, Tenzin. She's a Buddhist. Tenzin be cooking. Nobody wants to have these types of real conversations. I know it's difficult. Everybody wants what Disney said we were supposed to have, or what some social construct said we were supposed to have. But I am exposing the truth. This is what relating is about. And they say, oh, is it supposed to be like this all the time? No. But it's supposed to be like this. Tenzin Jetsunma is her name, if you want to look her up online. Yes, it's supposed to be like this. Right? Your spiritual lethargy says, does it supposed to be like this all the time? That's because you haven't put in the work. Look at yourself in the first 2 weeks of working out. Your body is going to be pained. Your body is going to be hurting. But as your body adjusts, you're going to have to adjust your workout, because now the muscles begin to plateau. They get normal. They start to feel regular now. You don't even get to burn. You don't even feel the hurt no more. So that means you have to adjust the workout in order to trick the muscle to be stressed so it can grow, so it can become more muscular, more toned. Right? Relationships work the same way. You don't think they do, but they do. There's so much more of your spirit that wants to be revealed through the mirrored environment of relationship. But somebody told you relationship's supposed to be I work so hard, and then when I come home, I want peace. Do you see how society and the social structure and the gender roles and all that is taken over what relationship actually is? It is the university of you, where you go to study how to reconcile, right? The shadow within you. Individuation. It's heavy stuff. One of my favorite callers is on the line. Man, one of my favorites is on the line. You already know what it is. Nikki from the SIP. Nikki from Mississippi is in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Brother Zoe and the fam.
We miss you. So glad you're here.
I miss you all too. What in the world?
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go.
One Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Just one.
That's right.
that guy took the hit for all of our sins. Nowhere else, 52 books plus the 5 extra, Torah, Quran, the tablet, does it say anything about anybody coming after him taking the hits for your stuff to carry? It doesn't say that. I think we need to address proper relationship, whether that is in a formal organized religion or not. Understand what it is that you are resonating with. Is it the guy that was on the wood? Or is it the building? Or is it the feeling that you attain being in the building with other people you think are similar? The significance of the heart. I am a spirit. I have a soul. I live in a physical body. If you don't come from a secure environment, or even sometimes if you do, but you are not exposed to examples of what Big Mama meant when she said you need to get your heart right. You cannot then do what Kobe Bryant's wife did when he came out in that press conference, which was her hips next to him in front of everybody and not say one word. Nothing did she say. Now, some people at first blush will pass that off as, well, she loved him. And she was there to be supportive. Both statements are extremely true. But that was a living example of the notion of what Atua was talking about with regard to this part is yours.
Wait, stay right there. This part is yours, Kobe. Stay right there. Don't move. Man, Nikki from the SIP done gave us more food for thought. When we come forward, she gonna finish this Kobe analogy.
Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'll be coming back this way again, baby. Baby, baby, baby.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Black Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrook says Americans are tired after 100 days of Trump's second term. She slammed his civil servant attacks, tariffs, benefit cuts, and picks like RFK Jr. as damaging to families. Decatur, Georgia School Board has walked back its decision and reinstated DEI policies after community backlash. The reversal comes after a court blocked the Trump administration's anti-DEI order. Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is backing a $1 billion redevelopment plan at RFK Stadium to bring back the Commanders. She says it'll boost the economy and is seeking council votes to pass the deal. And the 688, the only black all-women World War II unit in Europe, received the Congressional Gold Medal Tuesday. The group handled 17 million mail items and inspired a recent Tyler Perry film. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
It's
It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts, Express Employment Professionals. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's expresspros.com.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it! Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nits and the Ad Council.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number, because Ray, he's going to text it live, and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk Radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
If I may most respectfully ask you, I'm putting a question to you. Why are you here? This is a serious question, as you have put to the speaker several other questions. Why each one of us is here in this not too nice weather, windy, and one hopes that you are comfortably seated. But why? Not that you are not seated comfortably, but why are we all here? Is it out of curiosity? Nothing better to do? I'm asking these questions most respectfully, not in any sense of impudence. Are we here to be stimulated, to be challenged, to have more energy or release energy, or merely intellectual flirtation? A good word.
Good word.
Or romantically, sentimentally, or some kind of help, wanting to be helped by another. If one put all these questions to oneself, what would be our answer? You might just as well ask the speaker why he is talking. Is it a habit? Is it he feels happy facing an audience, fulfilling? And that
Krishnamurti, man, we've rebranded him. He's Krishnahurti, because he gonna hurt you with the truth. Krishnahurti, but he's cooking. Many times, or oftentimes, we don't ask those series of questions until after the relationship has failed. And then we go, why am I here? What am I doing? Why, you know, when we're in pursuit of something that we think has a high chance of giving us what our wounds desire, I believe we're at our most deluded state. That's when we're the most cooperative. That's when we're the most empathetic. That's when we're the most kind, because we're most protective. Hey, I want this to work. When we're invested, I believe that's when we're our most deluded. Because we can't keep a clear mind. We can't ask introspective questions until the relationship falters. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying for the most part, we get introspective when the source of supply, the supply chain breaks down. Why did I invest so much time, energy, and effort into this person? You see? Let me get back, man. Nikki was cooking on this Kobe Bryant point about how Vanessa, his wife, was there in support of Kobe Bryant. I remember this day like it was yesterday, right? She was there in support, but she said not one word. It was his cross to bear. And she had no words for the people that were there taking his words down, taking his side of the story down. She had nothing to say. But there were moments where she looked him in his eyes. There was moments where she connected with him to say, you are not doing this alone, but you got to do this yourself. Here we go. Nikki from the SIP, please finish cooking us up that rarefied Southern hospitality science you got over there.
So how does that relate to having your heart right?
Yes.
It takes a tremendous amount of heart right fortitude.
Heart right fortitude. Y'all better listen. Let me get out of our way.
To stand in that gap, because her heart's broken twice. It's broken for herself because of the transgression, and it's public. And it's broken for him because she loves him. We don't often consider in transgression mode the implication of the other, the one that's not voluntarily committing the transgression. So when we cross over to the next phase, and it's our turn to be on the wood, we're not getting no cool points because we sat there in the press conference. We still have to give an account for our soul's stuff. The Christ guy is aware that you had heart fortitude to walk, or in this case, to sit there with him and illustrate that strength for the world to see. And him. But that doesn't negate that I still have to answer for my stuff that's not public, that everyone isn't aware of, when it's my turn to be on the wood. When we have an opportunity to get our heart right, then we can serve correctly.
No. Hold on. You are destroying me right now. Because I don't know. She said, when it's our turn to be on the wood. See, help me understand this, Nikki. Are you saying you are carrying your cross to your personal Calvary for crucifixion? You carrying the cross to the site of your crucifixion. What is being crucified?
There's a book called What Did Jesus See from the Cross? There's a prayer that we pray as Catholics, but it relates to carrying our cross without complaint. When it's my turn to give an account, to me, that will be my equivalent of a crucifixion, because I got to give an account for all of this time between when I got here and now I'm going back. If I had an opportunity to get my heart right, because when you die, the Christians believe, what does God look at? The only thing left, which is your heart.
Come on.
Because there is where the things live that are going to be crucified. There is a residue in that place of whether or not your heart was right in the in-between. When we can get that correct, not only can we serve him, I can serve you, husband. I can serve you, wife. I can serve you, humanity. I can serve you, self, because my heart is right. It is not anticipating that you return to me anything that I truly gave to you, because you're supposed to serve in what? Honesty and truth. We mess up generally on one or the other, very often both. So now we're going to stumble and fall. But when the heart is right, see, that's about the love thing you have now all heard me talk about for 3 years. Okay. When you get in that place and practice staying there, that helps you keep your heart right. Okay, the Catholics buried the Pope Saturday. Okay, I'm fixing to bury another priest this week. Let me just tell you, I spent the whole day today playing one song over and over, Sensational Chris Brown. You know why? Because it made my heart stay open. Because when I am sad, I can't vibrate. I can't resonate. I can't get it up high enough when I'm sad.
Hold on one second, because I need this. I need you to have this. Andy, can you get Sensational Chris Brown up for Deacon Nikki from the SIP Deaconess, because she's over here cooking right now, and I need her to be supported so she can continue. Now, go ahead, finish. Andy got that for you.
See, that made my heart stay open today, and it made my body feel what love is like when you're in love with somebody or somebody's in love with you, so that I could get my vibration up out of the grave. The Bible says you're supposed to keep a song close to your heart for that very reason.
That's right. We rolling right with you, Nikki. Go ahead.
Heart open in a love place so that these two death things aren't killing me. Because it makes me curt when you say things that are uncool about the Christ I serve. Or my ability to tolerate nonsense in a work environment is -0.
Right.
So I need to put something else in my heart so that it stays in a place of love, so that I can carry the two funerals back to back.
Right.
Or the burden of the one that I love with the understanding with the one that I love. Not to point a finger at you did this, but this is how I'm going to show you what love and walking it out with you looks like. So when it's my day on the wood, my guy who went to the wood first says, see, that's the light I wanted you to show. That's why I gave you to that guy. Because on that day, he was going to need to see me through you like this. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Nikki, let me just say this, Nikki. You know this. I don't know if you, I hope you feel it. We love you, Nikki. We love you. And we appreciate you. I mean, beyond words.
I love you back.
I appreciate you is not good enough. Guess what you just did, Nikki?
I brought the SIP in the building, and I still love everybody.
Come on. Yeah, the voice of reason is on complete fire tonight. When we come forward, I'm going to wrap this thing on up, man. Sensational.
And I know, and I know, and I know. I still fall for you. Love like a riddle, yeah. Give me the clues of the riddle. Oh, wow. Life is a little, yeah. Life's pretty sweet, can be bitter. Girl, I only need your outside dress. If you wanna pull up on my tape cassette, put it wider than the internet.
It's Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
something being traumatic, you really feel like your backup is against the wall. You have no way out. It creates a sense of helplessness and hopelessness for a person. So, and there's some of the other things like, I don't know, not enjoying your job, not liking where you work. Like those things are normal. Like friendships ending, like that's normal. It's not abnormal. It's not abnormal for you to experience pain. It's not abnormal for you to experience some level of discomfort throughout your life. And I think that people have gotten really smart about their pain, like to where they can articulate their pain in a way to where it's like, oh, don't challenge me on my pain because you don't know what I've been through. Well, we all have been through something being traumatic.
Man, Raquel Hopkins, if you don't know about her, you better check her out. She's taking, TikTok and social media and all of these platforms by storm as well. And I think you should check her out. I love her somewhat counterintuitive approach. Whereas everybody is trying to get the participation award, she's like, no, you got to earn these self-victories, and I think that that's important. Speaking with our good friend Nikki from the SIP, and that whole concept of you are carrying across your burden, you are carrying across to your Calvary, where something has to be crucified. You can crucify your fears. You can crucify your negative self-talk. You can crucify your insecure attachment style. You can crucify aspects of your ego that prevent you from reaching transcendence. If you want relational transcendence, there has to be self-transcendence. The cross that you must, she said, you on that wood. When you're up on the wood, when you're on your cross, that very crucifixion that is happening is the act of individuation. Your relationship will never be so perfect that you don't have to self-individuate. Individuation is the purpose of relationships. Why? Because the relationship actually illuminates the shadow. This is as triggers, it's popping up. You got it? The familiar adage, God won't give you more than you can bear, resonates with many, yet invites profound introspection regarding the nuances of relational entanglements. What if instead our wounds are the very catalysts that both shape and shackle our connections to others? The core of relational dynamics often hinges on the dissonance between mutual support and the dangerous precipice of codependency. In the biblical context of Galatians 6:2, the instruction to bear one another's burdens invokes a compelling sense of community, yet it raises a critical question about the nature of this burden sharing. Are we genuinely assisting one another, or are we merely enabling unhealed wounds? We got to continue to do the work to find out. Listen, I started the conversation. None of what I said is true. None of what I said is correct. I started it so you can finish it. I'm the voice of reason, and tomorrow is my Friday. I'll be back with another slapper. Deuces!
I'd give you anything
If this world were mine, I'd make you a king. With wealth untold, you could have anything. If this world were
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.